There are different ways that we love, different things that we love, and yet we have one word that we throw at various scenarios. Let me illustrate. My favorite food is potato, particularly made in a way that is salty and crunchy. And if you want to go the extra mile, you add non-dairy cheese on it to make it gooey fatty. So you have all those things like fries, wedges, hash browns. I love it. Maybe it's my Irish roots and they remember the potato famine that brought all of my ancestors here to America, and now I just have to eat all the potatoes. I don't know. It's in my genes. I used to have red hair. Now it's white. But I'll say I love potatoes, and then I'll say I love my family. Okay, same word, different meaning, I would hope so, based on the context used. Now the Greek language has different words for the different kinds of loves humans experience. C.S. Lewis famously wrote about them in his book, The Four Loves. And today's passage uses this, but we're going to totally miss it if we don't know about these words. It says that Lazarus is sick in the house of misery. Pretty start to a pretty story, right? And his sisters sent word to Jesus, Lord, he whom you love is sick. Now the word for love here is Phileo. It means a good and beloved friend. The city of Philadelphia is actually called the city of brotherly love, and is based on this Greek word for love that represents strong friendship. It's the love experienced in friendships and community when you realize you share a passion or an experience. You've experienced this when you meet someone and you can say, oh, you too? That's me. Yeah, we got that. We got that in common. Maybe it's over a hobby like woodworking or origami or something, or maybe it's common interest or common experience. You all like the same sports teams, you're all from the same place. Maybe it's an experience like, oh, we're both veterans, we understand what it's like. We're both widows, we understand what that's like. You're both from the same city. When you're traveling, you meet someone, you're like, oh, you're here too, right? You find a connection point, and then a natural relationship, a friendship, is built on that. That's Phileo. That's a kind of love. Now, when word is sent to Jesus, they say, your dear friend is sick. The one that you love is sick. The one that you phileo is sick. They know Jesus is going to respond because they're friends. And friends come through for each other. Friends are there for you when you're down and in need. Friends will come and visit you when you are in Bethany, the house of misery. But Jesus doesn't show up in the hour of need. He procrastinates, which is confusing to me. He says confusing words that sound like he's lying. Oh, Lazarus' condition's not going to lead in death. It's not going to lead to death, but to glory of God. And then he dies. And everyone is kind of looking at Jesus, maybe with disgust, maybe with confusion, maybe with a little contempt. We've all been here, and then we're taught, don't question it, right? Have you ever been in Bethany? Isolation, house of misery, house of pain, and then God don't show up. It's the most awful feeling in the world that, the job was given to someone else that you were really wanting, the loved one that you're really pulling for and praying for, they didn't make it. The electricity was shut off. Your physical or your mental health got worse instead of better, and it feels as though God was late. Or the memo that came across the desk was dropped on the floor at the end of the workday of God's, office time, and he looks down and he's like, hey, I wonder what that is on the floor. Oh crap, it's a memo. Someone is ill. And we who then experience the lateness of God are left in the wreckage of a life that is unsaved. And then we feel something called despair, which is a sense of hopelessness when the world or our faith does not operate the way we thought it should. And we live in this space in between the expectations that did not come to fruition and new expectations that are not yet formed. And we've been like deconstructed, and we're in a middle space. And what do I do here? Where do I go? Now, the rest of the world doesn't know what to do with you when you have fallen apart. And they don't have an ability or desire to put something, help you put something back together. You're just on your own. The family doesn't want to talk about it. Church they don't want to talk about it until you got a testimony of victory. Then they're going to bring you up front on Sunday morning, have you tell about how God rescued everything, right? Your friends, they don't want to talk to you because you're just too depressing to be around. Or, See, the truth is, Phileo love, as great as it is not strong enough to handle deconstruction because it removes the foundation of connection that your love was built on. And all those cliche answers that your faith expected and believed, now they're gone. Everything was built on that. And then you have work to do to find a new reality with God and life and this world, and to find something else, a new form of love, which the Bible calls Agape, which is divine creative love. So let's dive into that one, see what we see.